My name's Jason. I'm Casper from Headhunters. This is Douglas Street right here in West LA, downtown, but it's the west side of LA. And this is my neighborhood right here. My whole family was gangbanging when I was growing up, so.
From different neighborhoods, right?
Everybody in my family's from a different neighborhood. Like, no one's from the same neighborhood, but yeah, I kind of knew I was gonna be a gang member. I mean, but yeah, in 7th grade, that's when I got jumped in. So that was, what, 89, 90. So since then until now.
And you kind of did that freely and willingly, and something you knew that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But when you're that young, what was 12, 13 years old?
12, yeah, right about to turn 13.
I mean, what do you think about your decision-making skills as a 12 or 13-year-old?
I made my life a lot harder, you know, I mean, yeah, my life would have been a lot easier if I didn't, but, you know, I can't go back. I've been doing good now. I kind of, you know, got my life back together now, but for a long time, it was, you know what I mean? It was mostly spent inside, to be honest with you. As a juvenile, I did time, and then my whole adult life until I was 31, I did time. I started doing time at 15. When I was 15, in and out, juvenile hall, and then I lived out of state for a year. Dang, got the helicopters up. I lived out of state for a year, and then so I did time out of state, and I came back to California, and all 16 and 17, I was in and out of the halls. And then as soon as I turned 18, I went off to prison.
So can you tell us what you did as a juvenile that got you incarcerated?
First, I had an assault with a deadly weapon, and they ended up giving me probation. Out of state, I caught a robbery, and I ended up doing time out there. Came back to California, and then I caught an assault. I caught an attempted murder, and I beat the attempted murder, and I would just go back in and out for probation violations aside from that. That's as a juvenile.
What's your first adult case? Can you talk about what happened in that case?
I caught a murder when I was 18, and so they charged me with murder. I fought it for a little bit. It wasn't gang related or nothing like that. It was family related. I don't want to get too into it because my nieces and nephews, they'll probably be seeing this or something, so I don't want to get a little too much into it. But it was family, it was, you know, concerning my sister. But I went to prison for that, and I ended up taking a plea bargain for manslaughter, and I got 4 years for that.
So you have cousins, oh no, you said nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews.
Oh yeah, that's right, nieces and nephews that were very young at the time, probably.
Yeah. This was in 95, so yeah. And
it's probably something that doesn't come up in the family, like no one really talks about it, right? It's
not too much,
yeah. So is it kind of hard to even go there now?
It's hard, yeah. I mean, it's real hard, but I see them all the time. You know, I see them all the time, and I'm in their life all the time, but yeah, it's just something that we just kind of don't bring up.
So the fact that the district attorney gave you a deal, they dropped it from murder to manslaughter.
Right.
That means that they understood that this wasn't a premeditated, malicious killing.
Right. But I still didn't want to take it to trial, though. They didn't want to take it to trial either, though. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, give me something I can live with, and let's just keep it going. My lawyer wanted to go to trial. I had a state-appointed attorney, but he let me know, okay, if you lose, you're never getting out. So I didn't really want to go to trial either.
And and would the basis of your defense be self-defense?
Somewhat, yeah.
So you take the deal, and what was that like to take the? What was the 12 years they offered?
It was 4. Well, first, I mean, they were offering 17 to life, 15 to life. They brought it down to 10. I wanted to take that. They ended up coming down 3 years for manslaughter plus a 1-year weapon enhancement. So I took the 4 years.
And the reason why your offers weren't that high is because a firearm was not involved.
Right.
If the firearm was involved, that changes the whole sentencing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so you took the deal, and how'd that feel after you took the deal?
I mean, I kind of had my mindset that I was going to do life, but it felt good. I was going home because I'm one of the few people out of all of it. There was a lot of us in the county back then that was fighting cases like mine. A lot of us, and everyone ended up getting life except for me and a couple other people got manslaughters. Everybody else got life. So I was at least I was happy for that.
So what was the relationship like with your sister before this and then after?
The same, you know, but we don't talk about it, you know what I mean? I just seen her last month. I mean, I see her all the time, but yeah, we don't really bring it up, you know what I mean?
And how many years has it been?
20. No, actually 22, wow. 23.
23 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you ever hear like rumors from other families, cousins, uncles, aunts, that they say things about you, Jason this or that?
Well, I avoid that side of the family, you know, for that reason, but I would expect that, you know, even though it was an accident, you know, because it was an accident. I didn't mean for that to happen. But even with that being the case, I wouldn't care if it was an accident and that was my brother or my, you know, whatever, uncle or whatever. I wouldn't care if it was an accident. You know what I mean? So I'm mindful of that, so I don't go around them.
So in a nutshell, it was a domestic violence situation and you felt like you was protecting your sister.
Right.
And yeah. I think a lot of people could understand that.
Yeah.
And it's not this happens all across America.
Right.
Multiple times.
Right.
So this was your first visit to the state penitentiary.
Right.
When you knew you was on that bus towards reception, what was going on through your mind?
I don't want to sound like, I don't know, I don't want to try to sound like I'm acting hard or nothing. It's just, I don't know, I wasn't scared. LA County it was bad back then, you know what I mean? So from my understanding, even back then, if you can survive this place, there ain't nowhere they can send you that's gonna shake you up. You know what I mean? If you're cool here, if you're good here, and you can survive here, then there's no place in the prison system. And that turned out to be true. I've been to Corcoran Shoe, I've been to Pelican Bay, and I can still say 1995 LA County. I've never been nowhere worse than that. It was crazy.
Now, how long were you in the county fighting this case before you got sent to prison?
Not that long, probably like 3-4 months.
That's it?
Yeah. I was in...
you didn't waste any time.
No, I got bound over to Superior, because, you know, you start off in municipal court, then you go to Superior Court. I was maybe at my second court date in Superior, and they had already offered me a deal. So I jumped on it right there, you know what I mean? Who knows? I mean, I might have got involuntary manslaughter if I would have kept going, but you don't play, you know, I don't play like that. I know even back then, I know when it's time to sign and just go on with your life, you know? So I went from reception, I was there a couple months, and then I went to level 2. And that's where I started my time. I was there for a year. And I ended up catching a bunch of write-ups in the level 2. So I was going up levels instead of coming down levels. You know what I mean? Where a lot of people start in a 4, they'll do good for a year or 2, go to a level 3, do good for a year or 2, I went from a 2 the opposite direction. Like,
and why'd that happen?
I didn't care. I didn't care. I mean, I didn't care. I was 18. I didn't care. Even though I had just been given a second chance at life, I didn't appreciate it at the time. I didn't appreciate my life until I got out this time, and I have, you know, my kids are here with me, but until I had my kids at 31, I didn't appreciate my life at all. You know what I mean? So when I got up there, I don't know, I kind of took everything as, like, it was a joke to me. I didn't, you know. I went to a level 2, and I'm like, this isn't like the movies. I want to get the hell out of here, you know what I mean? And I'm just being honest. So I went from there to a 3-yard. I was only on a level 3 for 2.5 months, and I went to the hole. And then from the hole, I went to the shoe. 2 is dorm living, and it's a lot, you know, a lot more freedom.
How many people in the dorm about? 100?
A few hundred, yeah.
A few hundred.
Yeah, it was a place called Avenel. So each building was pretty big, so there's at least a couple hundred people.
And how do you sleep? How do you sleep when you got 100, 200 people literally around you?
It's cut off into cubicles, so the whole bottom tier will be about 10, 15 beds, and then there's a wall. And then there's 10, 15 more beds, a wall. And it keeps going like that all the way around, and then upstairs it's the same thing. Then there's a shower right in the middle, and then the whole middle part is like a day room. So there's tables, if you want to play cards, whatever. There's a couple benches, and there's TV on both sides. There's 2 TVs. So really just when you sleep is when you're around everyone else. You know what I mean? And you're in a cubicle with probably about 40, 50 people. But it was too, you know, I don't know. I should have just stayed there, honestly.
You would have got out sooner too, right?
Yeah, I ended up doing all 4 of my years, plus I had time that they couldn't even give me because I was maxed out, and the DA wasn't picking up my cases. So I had like probably 4 or 5 DA referrals that the DA just wasn't picking up. In Corcoran, the DA wasn't picking them up. So, I mean, if I'd have stayed there for 1 year, I would have went to level 1 and then been like in a fire camp or something and went home. Instead, I went the other way.
So then you get to a level 3. What's
Right.
that like?
Now I'm in cell living. Now it's a little
2-man cells?
2-man cells. And now it's a little more, you know, you can tell the difference a little bit. Not too much. It's kind of like a level 2, but in cells. You know what I mean? There's still people there that are programming and doing good. A lot of people from level 4s, but they're doing good. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people there like me, level 2s, going up. So it's a mixture of that. But mostly people trying to do good. But, you know, it gets serious sometimes.
So then you get sent to the hole there.
Right.
And what you go to the hole for?
I got caught. They found something in the cell. So I went to the hole. You know, and then I went to the hole, and I caught a battery on an inmate when I got to the hole. So from there, they sent me to the SHU, and I wasn't supposed to go to the SHU because they were going to suspend my SHU for what they found in the cell, and they were going to suspend my SHU term, but instead, I caught something in the hole, so now I have 2 SHU terms instead of 1. So from there, I was already in the hole. All they had to do was move me over 1 building. Now I'm in the SHU. So it's not that hard if you're in Corcoran to go to the SHU, because you're already right there. You know what I mean?
So
But, yeah.
all the stuff that you're participating in, is this stuff that you're doing on your own, or are you told to do some of this stuff?
No. This is just me.
Yeah.
That's just me, 18, 19, 20 years old, like whatever. You know what I mean?
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.